Welcome to another episode of Raven Conversations. I'm Joe Seamandel, State Public Affairs Officer for the Washington National Guard. And today I'm joined by MSgt Ryan Beck. He's with the 194th Air Support Operations Group here on Camp Murray. And you're a tactical air control party member. And you are the standards evaluations kind of supervisor over there at the group, right?
Yes.
He's going to talk to us about what it is a TACP does. It's a pretty awesome job, and what the unit is like, and if you're interested in how you can be part of it. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. So quick background on yourself.
So I'm Ryan Beck. I am the Stand Eval Program Manager at the 194th Air Support Operations Group. TACP. I joined active duty in 2006, did that for 11 years, and then moved over to the Guard. Liked being in Washington. So I've been in the Guard now for the past 6 years, up at the group the whole time. Really enjoying my time up here. Love the Guard. Just hanging out.
Yeah. So when you first joined the TACP, what was it that got you to join and become a TACP member?
The recruiting video that got me. I came in open general, and the job that I initially wanted to go into didn't exist outside of the recruiter's office, so I kind of found myself stuck there. And then the CCT showed up, the SEER guy showed up, and the TACP showed up, and I saw the video, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So yeah.
Was the cool guy effect.
A rock music song playing in the background, and cars and people blowing up. I was sold.
Yeah. So then what led you to join the Guard?
So I knew that. I was stationed here across the street at the 5th ASOG on JBLM for 8 years. It was my only duty station. I went over to California to work at the National Training Center in Barstow. I knew I was getting out in 11 years, and I wanted to come back to Washington. So I also wanted to stay within the TACP community in some way, shape, or form. And it just so happened my previous squadron commander was the group commander here. So I called him and I said, what's the Guard like? And he said, I got a spot for you. Come on over, and the rest is history.
Yeah. So within Washington, obviously, there's the 194th Air Support Operations Group. Underneath that, you have the 116th and the 111th ASOG. Kind of talk about that structure in the group and what you guys do.
Okay. Yeah. So at every echelon, you have program managers, and so the way that's structured here, the ASOG is the subordinate, or the 116th and 111th are subordinate squadrons to us. So I basically just manage their management of their program. Mm-hmm. So JTAC requires certifications. It requires currency. You have to go out to the range and control a certain amount of times a year. And then you have to do evaluations periodically. So I basically just make sure that the squadrons beneath me are managing their programs accordingly. I go down and do staff assistance visits and inspections when necessary or required. And then just make sure everybody's needs are met. If there's any questions or issues, I'm kind of supposed to be the subject matter expert on the program. So just making sure everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah,
and so recently you guys had a group from, I think it was UW ROTC come out. You kind of took them through basically a training on how to be a TACP. What does that process look like? Let's say you're an airman and you're like, hey, I really want to be a TACP. What do they need to know? What do they need to do to make that happen?
So number one, physical fitness is really the killer getting into the career field. So we right now are using the Tier 2 operator fitness test. It's pretty grueling. It takes quite a bit of time. So really just the beginning stages of, say you get in and you start the training, it's really all physical based. Until you get past that stage, the prep stage, then you start learning more about the equipment and being an actual TACP and a JTAC. But primary, it's fitness, and that was kind of the heavy focus on what we did with the ROTC cadets this past summer.
Yeah, and then once you get through that physical barrier, what's some of that training look like that you can talk about?
Sure. So radio training is big. We are big proponents of communications. So a lot of radios, a lot of different waveforms, a lot of antenna theory, radio theory. Past that, we have GPS, laser range finding equipment. And then you kind of start learning more about enemy battle systems, ground systems, air systems, friendly air systems, friendly ground systems, just kind of as a advocate for using close air support. We have to kind of have a well-rounded knowledge on basically everything that affects the battlefield. So you start getting into using rotary wing and how to utilize them appropriately, how to use artillery, Army artillery appropriately, and call those calls in. And then, you as a JTAC, you have to learn how to control casts, how to, find, hey, there's a target over there, I want you to hit it. So it's our responsibility to find exactly where that target is, relay that to pilots, and, make sure that those targets are struck on time.
Yeah. So the nice part is I think we've worked with the TACPs over a number of years in this office. I think it was Travis Delaney was his name.
Yep.
He was a Silver Star recipient for his actions in a combat zone as a TACP. But then in fires, we've also worked with TACPs helping coordinate airdrops for water. Is that kind of what it's that just kind of free flowing, ensuring you guys can morph into the situations and changing? It's kind of very fascinating to watch.
Right. Yeah. And as a TACPs, we're kind of as the Air Force shifts to the ACE, the Agile Combat Employment. We are, we're focused on being capable of doing almost anything, being able to be plug and play wherever we need to go, support anybody that needs the support, whether it's close air support or HLZs, drop zones, anything that needs to be done. It's a big focus now is communications, being able to extend communications to the forward edge of the battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's say there's a kid watching this, a junior airman, and they're like, hey, that sounds cool. I don't know if I can do that, though. I don't know if I've got the physical. I don't know if it's something I'm interested in. What would you tell that kid? Well,
if it's something you really want, I mean, when I joined, I was not physically ready. And, the requirements are a lot harder now. But, I mean, if it's something you really want to do, there's nothing stopping you from doing it outside of just training and preparing your body and your mind for it. Mentally, it takes a lot as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And why should they want to come work in the 194th?
Oh, because it's a blast. I mean, the great thing about the Guard is that you're building connections with people that last a lot longer than, especially in active duty. You know somebody for 3 years, they PCS, they get a new guy in, and you're learning job, and you leave after 3 years. But here, you build connections that last a long time. Programs kind of have, extended lifespans because you're able to kind of keep control over things. But yeah, being in the Guard is just it's, I don't know, stable, really stable.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. You're always in the state.
Yep.
You drill in the state and you work in the state, and it's fantastic. Anything else you'd like to put out there for the audience? Anything we didn't talk about?
No. I mean, if you're interested in being a TACP, come talk to me up at the group. Come talk to anybody at the 116th. Reach out, and we'll get you squared away. Yeah,
we can put the information in the notes. Definitely make sure that we've got that in there of how you can actually learn about getting into the career field. If you like the video, give us a like and make sure you subscribe. We're going to try and get more units to come on and talk to you guys about what they do. I appreciate you coming out and joining us.
Thank you.